Given the rise of costs in housing, food, and gas, how can the city help seniors stay in their houses?
I think part of the premise of the question is, what can the city of Scottsdale do for this issue? Because it's a very concerning issue. And a lot of times it gets used as sort of a pretext for, that's the reason we need to build and build and build forever. And we have to remember that Scottsdale's character is something that's worth protecting. And so I do not think that the answer is going to be to build. I mean, we have 10,000 apartments and units that are approved in the pipeline that are going to be coming to your neighborhoods at some point, and there's talk of adding, thousands of more, 50,000 more. When they build those, the prices are not any lower. Has anybody seen the prices for those? Those luxury units, they're not any lower. So the notion that you would get downward pressure, we could add 100,000 more apartments to Scottsdale, and you aren't going to get the kind of price relief that you're looking for. So we also have to remember that there's a downside of that, what it does to our infrastructure, our roads, our congestion, and so forth. Thank you.
How do we balance future growth with limited water resources? Appreciate
that. Well, it's a very good question. And when I was on Planning Commission, this was something that really concerned me. The specter of adding 50,000 apartments to Scottsdale seemed to me something that would not be good for Scottsdale's long term. When you think about Scottsdale, its character is very important, and we need to protect its character because that's what is your quality of life, and that is what brings tourists here. That's what helps our economy grow. So we have to balance those things. I'm not on board with those who say we want to build that many, because I don't think that's sustainable from a water standpoint. And something else I'd like to see is that when projects come before the city council, that they produce a water matrix that shows the incremental use of water for those particular projects. Thank you. That way we can get more transparency about what exactly the water consumption for each project will be. Thank you.
So yes, some of you are not going to like my answer, but we do need some additional housing. And I also want to address something. I have heard the number 50,000 units. Nobody that I've spoken with has approved 50,000 units in this city. I've heard that 10,000 units are currently underway. That is not the case. 3,500 are currently under construction. The total number even in the pipeline doesn't even get to 8,000. So I think facts are important before we just try to turn every issue into density and losing our character issue. Thank you.
But we have to address, not only as Scottsdale, but as a state, our housing crisis. We are not building enough units for all of the residents, and that's driving up prices across the board. I study economics. I've taken a number of economics courses. It's a simple supply and demand issue. One of my opponents, Mr. Graham, doesn't seem to believe in the law of supply and demand. That attitude on council has to stop. We need to encourage quality development, not in our neighborhoods, but quality development where appropriate to help address this crisis, and it is a crisis.
30 seconds for Mr. Graham.
That qualifies. So 100% unequivocally, there are 10,000 units approved and in the pipeline. That's documented, that's factual, it's been put forward, and you can say it's debunked, it's not debunked, it's factual. The 50,000 number isn't my number. That number has been put out there by what self-described housing experts on many occasions. And the last thing I'll say is that I have a bachelor's degree in economics, and I will say that I will put forward the challenge. Which economist says that if we put 100,000 apartments more in Scottsdale, the prices will go down? You can add 100,000 more, you can add 200,000 more, prices will not go down in Scottsdale. Thank you.